Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org with a video tutorial for the new Boston. In the past couple of videos we have looked at the fade in and fade out functions. However, the disadvantage to this is you don't have the option to use one button to toggle this effect. We've already looked at toggling different effects such as showing and hiding things. However, there is a function in jQuery called fade toggle, and this allows us to use two different states. The first state will be the option you give it, and then the second state, it will be a fade in or a fade out, and then the second state will be to obviously do the reverse, so to fade in or to fade out. So what we can actually do is start to create our image. So I'll just include our image in here, and this is tartan.jpg. Alt, I'll just give tartan, and we need to give this an ID as well, so I'll give this an ID of image. Now what I want to do is create one single button which is going to fade in and fade out these simultaneously. So if I go ahead and create an input type button, and we'll give this a value of fade in out. Okay, so let's put that in a paragraph there. Okay, so let's go ahead and preview this in our browser. You can see that we've got one button, fade in, out, and our image is currently displayed. Now because our image is currently displayed, when we press this button it will actually fade our image out. When we press the button again, it will fade the image back in. So now let's go ahead and create the functionality for this inside effects.js. I've already included this in my page as well as jQuery. So let's go to effects.js. Okay, so first of all we need to create an event handler. So an event handler for the button, which we have named, we didn't give it an ID, so let's give that an ID first. I'm just going to call this, let's say in out. So the button in out, we need to check for a click. What we then need to do is inside we have this function, and inside of this block here we bring that down, and we start to use the fade toggle function. So we reference our image, so that's hash image, and then we say dot fade toggle. So this doesn't require any parameters such as like the hide, the show function, the fade in and the fade out function. However, let's go ahead and test it and then give it some additional parameters. So let's click this, you can see our image fades out, and we click it again and you see it fade in. Now similarly, if you wanted the image to be faded out beforehand, you can use CSS to style this. So I'm going to just create a style attribute in my image tag. Obviously inline CSS isn't recommended, but for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to write display and then none. So now what will happen is when we refresh our browser, the image doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but it's not shown. When I click fade in, fade out, it automatically fades us in. So it detects its visibility and then toggles it accordingly. We can then again fade out and back in again. Now there are additional parameters for fade toggle. We have either a textual representation of the speed, for example slow will just simply slow the animation down. You'll see that it's significantly slower. We can also then give it a speed, so alternatively we can give it a speed, for example 500, which is 5 seconds, 5000 sorry, which is 5 seconds. If we were to fade in, you can see it takes significantly longer to fade in. We also have the option to use a callback function. Beforehand you can set the animation type as well. By default it is swing, that's if you don't give it any parameter. However, you also have linear, which doesn't make too much of a difference, but this can be used in most animation effects. So we also have the option for a callback function, and this essentially will just do something once the animation has been complete. So for example, we can alert the user animation complete. What's going to happen now is once we click the button, we're going to toggle the fade. It's going to be 5 seconds, the effect type is going to be linear, and this callback function here with this block in here will be run. but only once the animation is complete, so i.e. the image is completely faded in or faded out. So we can test that now by clicking fade in. You'll see that that takes about 5 seconds to fade in, and once it has faded in, we will have a alert box come up saying animation complete. And then again, that's the same with fading out. If we press it, we wait about 5 seconds, well, exactly 5 seconds for it to fade out, and then we have the same dialog box appear. So that's the fade toggle function in jQuery.